A short while ago, maybe not even a short while ago, maybe a little while ago, I had said to either you, my audience, or maybe to somebody else in passing, that not everybody needs a microphone and not everyone's voice needs to be heard. Well, that is the perfect example as it comes to Paul Pierce. Now, Paul Pierce, I don't have to explain to y'all who he is. Everyone knows who he is. But this right here came out of left field and it made absolutely no sense whatsoever. So as y'all can see on your screen, it says Paul Pierce on why NBA players prefer dating white women. And he's quoted as saying they appreciate and apologize more. And when I first heard about this, and just that quote alone, I said, not even at least the ones who are right in the head, that many white women would agree with that statement. Some of them would tell you they are some of the biggest manipulators and liars on the face of the planet, and if not the planet, at the very least in this establishment. I mean, think about some of the things that a lot of white women have done and gotten away with throughout history. But you know what? I'm gonna let the track play. I'm gonna let the video play where you can hear straight from the horse's mouth of what he said in its entirety.
Do you feel like, why do you feel like men, especially NBA players, get with the white women? Is it because they're easy, quote unquote?
I got some theories, but I really want to hear it from him.
I do too. I want to hear it too.
I honestly think that maybe they appreciate maybe more and they apologize more.
Listen, I'm scared. Hold on.
No.
Hold on.
I mean, you know.
I had an interview with
they don't mind being held accountable.
I'm so scared of this, y'all, because I had an interview with Columbus Short, and I asked him this similar question, and he said something, and I got dragged for filth. I was on Breakfast Club, I was on Shaver, I had death threats for so long from black women because they said I laughed when he said that. So let me not laugh. I don't have nothing to do with this.
I mean, that's what
black.
I think.
I'm black.
Know.
He don't know, though, because he dates black women, period. So do not come for him, period.
So you just heard it right there. And apparently he's on some kind of a podcast. I don't know what the name of the podcast is, but apparently this woman, I'm not sure of her name. I'm sure if anyone's in the chat is familiar with her, y'all can let me know. She's the host. And I'm guessing the other guy that was there, I'm guessing he's a co-host as well. And they had Paul Pierce on there and she was asking him, like, why do you think NBA players, the black ones anyway, prefer to date white women? And that's when you heard it right there. And notice how he sat there and it's almost like he had to kind of think of a response or an answer to come up with, to the point where as I'm listening to him say it, because I always say pay attention to tone and body language, it almost sounded like he wasn't even sure if that's what he wanted to say. It's almost like he mentally told himself or coerced himself into saying that they appreciate more, or that they apologize more, or they hold themselves accountable. Now that holding themselves accountable part, I do believe that he probably meant that, because that one came out a little bit more smooth than the first two things that he said, where it sounds like he was struggling to come up with a response. So it sounds to me like he didn't even mean genuinely what he said there. It's like he wanted to either say something else or he wanted to go against a narrative, but that's what he decided to say at the moment. Now, I don't know what the discussion was prior to him saying that or making that comment, but the lead in must have been something very interesting. I wish I could see the whole thing to see even how they even got on that as a topic of discussion. But the fact of the matter is that what Paul Pierce said, when I first heard that he had said it, before I actually watched the clip, I said that doesn't make any sense of what he's saying. But then I watched the clip and I said, nah, it really doesn't make any sense after now listening to it and watching his body language. Like, look at how when she was asked the question, he couldn't come up with a straight answer. He had to kind of like look away, almost like he had to think of something to say on the fly. And that's what he came up with. They apologize more, they appreciate more, and then they hold themselves accountable. And then notice they started laughing because this is, in their minds, to me, based on how I'm looking at it, they said this sounds like a bunch of BS. And I think in deep down, he probably knew it was as well, but that's just what he had decided that he was going to say. Then the host mentioned how she said she had Columbus Short on, and then I remembered that Columbus Short had did an interview with someone, and now I know that it was her, when he had said something, I don't know if it was about black women. Now, in case y'all don't know, Columbus Short is or was, I'm not sure anymore, married to a white woman. And I'm sure that crushed a lot of black women's fantasies, because a lot of black women love them some Columbus Short. It was like almost like up there. I'll put it like this way: he was a fantasy for them, but then a lot of got crushed when he found out who he was married to. And then he got on that platform and he said what he said. And then you got to think that was at a time when Columbus Short was trying to climb back into the industry, because the last major thing he did was How to Get Away with Murder, not the How to Get Away with Murder, Scandal. And his career got messed up from some things that was, I believe, involving abuse of some kind or anything like that. And his career never really truly recovered after that. And then he did that interview, and then it turned a lot of black women off by what he said. And apparently, based on how she responded, it turned them off away from her as well. But notice how she tried to clean it up at the end, is saying, don't come for him or don't come for me, because Paul Pierce dates black women. And it seemed, and the thing is, now people are going to look at it like kind of sideways. So it's like you're trying to, give him an out after what he just said. So, especially that hold themselves accountable part, because that's something that could be seen as triggering, especially when it comes to the topic of talking about black NBA players or just black men in period, and them dating white women, and then him saying that's why they prefer it, because they apologize more, they appreciate more, and they hold themselves accountable. Like, what does apologize more even mean? Or appreciate more? Like, what does that even mean? Like, and that's the thing. And the thing is, I was thinking about this before I even made the video. You cannot do the one size fits all when it comes to people, because human beings are flawed beings. We're not perfect. Everybody has a flaw, and the same thing goes with these women. You can't say that white women are all this, that, and the third, especially if you don't know them like that. You only go off of what you see. You do not know them. You're not in their relationships. Look at what's going on with Shannon Sharp right now. And I think that's the crazy part, is that this comment was made, or at least it was put on display, after what's going on with Shannon Sharp. Then you think about what's going on, or what was going on, with Jonathan Majors, and then so many instances throughout history with black men in their interactions with white women. Poor Emmett Till, and he was only 14 years of age, and it was a grown white woman that called a lie that she told that caused him to lose his life in such a tragic and devastating way. He will be eternally 14, while she got to live out the rest of her life. She ended up outliving the men that actually did what they did to him. She only passed like 3 years ago, maybe. So yeah, Paul Pierce, that wasn't a good response. It was weird. It was a weird, and to me, it came off as a fake, on the fly type of thing. Like, he didn't mean it, but the thing is out there now, so the internet is going to do what it wants to do. I don't know what the response was, but I can just about guess how people received it. I can just about guess what sector went in on it as well. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I will talk to you in the next one.